Businesses are created to generate value, and usually the trigger point for a transformation or change is when they are not generating as much value as is expected of them. So the first trigger for transformation is usually the trigger for value generation to increase value. And in order to make this through the phase successfully, if the business is losing money, it needs to kind of recover value. You need to have the leadership in place that's going to guide them. So the quest for leadership development comes immediately after the quest for value generation. So you need to have the leaders in place who can then move the organization forward in terms of generation of value. What we have seen from our experiences of companies changing is that there are five particular paths that they take once they have the value generation and the leadership development in place. First, they look for greater global presence. Perhaps there is value in taking a successful service or product from one market to many. Second, they try to do something different with customers. So instead of selling just a product to them, they try to sell a service or an experience. So it's moving towards solutions. Typically, that generates more value, more margins, but also that requires a lot of infrastructure work upfront to understand what customers are like. The third thing we see organizations doing is something different with their resources. So they take out the fat, they take out where the bottlenecks are, they become more agile. A great example of this is Lego, which tried a lot of different innovations and that didn't work, and they actually reduced the number of innovations and made sure that focus on existing resources working much better. So agility using existing resources. Another route we see companies trying a lot is to be more sustainable. So instead of using existing resources, they look at the sustainability of every resource that they have, and they see how they can supplant existing resources with more sustainable resources, because that is seen as of having greater value down the road. The fifth and final big transformation we see is one of improving the way companies innovate. So broadening the innovation spectrum, making sure they co-innovate more. So example of this is Procter & Gamble, which created the Connect and Develop strategy of making their innovation more open.